Southampton is looking to host a full marathon next year, and Shan Robins caught up with Rees to find out more.
If you live in Southampton, many of you may know of the Southampton Half Marathon, but did you know that next year there's going to be a full marathon? Joining us in the studio now to tell us more is Rees, the Managing Director of Rees Leisure. Chris, thanks for joining us.
No problem, thank you very much.
A full marathon next year.
That's right. This will be the third year next year in 2017. So we had the half marathon and 10k in 2015, half marathon and 10k again this year, and then next year we're going to do the full 26.2 miles as the ABP Southampton Marathon, which will be good fun.
Wow. And how difficult was that to actually arrange? Because won't there have to be some road closures or different bits and pieces?
Well, we spent a long time with the City Council previously before the first events. We spent about 2 years in a small room in the council offices trying to plan out the route to make sure we could still get the city moving. We did an awful lot of communications in advance through the local papers, through radios, and obviously on TV as well to make sure we can kind of tell as many people as possible. But the city's really embraced the event. It's been absolutely fantastic. We get thousands of people come out of their houses to come and cheer people on, hand out jelly beans, water, and just really be part of this event just for this very exciting day in April.
Jelly beans? Why would people get jelly beans?
Jelly beans and jelly babies and Haribo and all sorts of sweets and treats just to keep all the runners going as they go around. So it's just the extra bit of sugar to keep them running around the route as they go along.
So you mentioned it's in April. Exactly when in April is it?
It's Sunday 23rd of April next year, so St George's Day, and the city will really come alive I think next year, especially with a 2-lap marathon as well.
A 2-lap, so is it 2 half marathons that become a marathon?
That's right, so we're keeping the same half marathon route. There's a few amends and a few changes because there's always, with a city that's growing and expanding so much, there's always a few changes to come into part of the route. But we're going to be doing 2 laps for next year, which means that the spectators will be able to see their loved ones a couple of times, and also you'll know where you're going for the second lap and what's coming up. And
what would you say are for runners, what are the highlights as they go round?
Oh, the city is beautiful. It's when you start actually running around, when you see the crowds and all the people cheering in the streets is absolutely fantastic. The Common's a beautiful part to run around. I think the highlight when we've been around it previously is when you reach the top of the Itchen Bridge and you can just see the whole city below. You've got St Mary's Stadium, you've got the clock tower in the distance, and then just thousands of people running in front of you as well. You get a real buzz of the whole city sort of coming together for one day, really, which is really exciting.
Now, last year they had, was it lots of charities were at different points with water and other things like that? Is that happening again for this year?
Yeah, very much so. So last year, or in 2016, we had 31 different charity groups or community groups who came together from Scouts, Brownies, Guys. We had church groups, we had the WI out, we had all these different parts of the community who came out to come and cheer people on. We had rowing clubs and people out as well. And they're basically there to be the ABP mile makers. So they're to make every single mile for every runner as they go around. And people had their own signs that were made up. So there was Scouts who'd written signs about Usain Bolt's behind you, make sure you run faster, and the Mayflower Theatre had a whole group of people out with now you're centre stage and don't break a leg and things like that. So it really was like a community event as it's going around, so it was lovely.
How many people have signed up so far?
We've got just over 2,000 people for next year. We're still early, so it's October time, which is good, so plenty of time for people to get in training. We tend to find that in January and February, March time, it just goes rocketing up where people then go, yes, I can do it, I've done my training, and that's where they then actually sign on the dotted line and go for it.
But how many people are you expecting the city to see?
Hopefully next year we're looking at 10,000 runners overall, which will be a mixture from the full marathon, the half marathon and the 10k as well. And we're very excited because there's about 20 people who did the 10k for the first time in Southampton last year, the half marathon this year, and then going to go forward for the full marathon next year as well. Wow. So that'll be quite exciting.
That is a big achievement, isn't it? Because that's a huge difference to once you've managed to get that far and then that route again. That's amazing.
That'll be absolutely fantastic. So I think the important thing is when people come out on the streets and come and cheer people on, those people cheering, they're coming out and actually helping to sort of create that exciting environment. It really does boost the runners and keeps them going for those extra miles as well.
So how can people get involved that aren't already involved in it? Is there some kind of coordinated way for supporters?
Yeah, so we've got a huge amount of details on our website, which is www.abpmarathon.co.uk, and they've got information about how to become a volunteer and come and cheer onto the streets or start your first training plan. We've got a mile fun run, so if you've got young children or people just want to get out that first sort of steps and go for that first bit, we've got a mile fun run as well. 10k, half marathon and a full distance marathon as well. people can run for charity. So there's over 120 charities who are now being represented, and the first 2 years we've raised over £300,000 for charity as well.
Wow.
So when people then start to build up to do a full distance marathon, I really do think we're going to absolutely, raise a huge amount of money this year as well, which would be really cool.
Are people around the Southampton area, is there any priority they can have in terms of getting places? Because a lot of marathons, when people know about them, people that do marathons go all over the country to get there.
That's right. So we're encouraging people to sign up early to make sure you can get those spaces. We are limiting it to 10,000 people across the whole board. So we're looking at about 5,000 people for the marathon, 5,000 for the half, and 2,000 for the 10K. Sort of an overall number in the future, because we just want to make sure it's an enjoyable event that everyone can enjoy, come and take part of without being stuck in queues before and afterwards as well.
Very briefly, then, just remind me what date is it?
Sunday, 23rd of April, 2017, and it's the abpmarathon.co.uk.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Chris, for joining us.
No worries. Thank you very much.